Goodness to you, it's Sporty King, and welcome to the day of the week called Friday. Look, I always say goodness because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening, but isn't it great to have good in front of your salutation? And isn't it great to have a salutation? To be here. It's like when people say, good seeing you, I say, yeah, good being seen, right? All right. Okay. So, welcome to what I am actually calling Final Friday. But right now, I'm getting on early to do what they call build the audience and give my shout outs because I didn't get a chance to get on here on Glue Wednesday. So, I'm using my Good Friday to do my Gift Friday to do a combination and good morning. And then like I said, I can also do the shout outs and great and see how they end up coming up. Good. Yeah, because I also changed how that's going to look as well. So good morning, and right, and if you're watching the video, it's going to be maybe good afternoon. It can still be good morning for you, but hang in there. So we got less than 5 minutes for today's actual message. But again, getting on early to get our shout outs and get our interactivity going, get the energy going as we close out 2021. Yes, it's the final Friday, but it's the final day of 2021. And so we've got less than, where's my clock? Where's my ticker here? It's that we got less than 4 minutes for today's message. But today has been Gift Friday since August 2020. I want to let you know that, and and that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about today as we get ready to close out the year. And those remember, if you're going to have any technical questions, for instance, right now I don't have my normal camcorder in there, so I'm back to using the computers camera. Hey, that's all part of life, and I think it's a good thing to talk about when that happened. But here comes Roger Carroll, here the new grandma. Good morning, Sporty fam. All right, the new grandma is in the house, and Miss from Chicago is now here in Charlotte. You still in Charlotte, by the way, Roger Carroll? Okay, cool in the gang. But we've got less than 3 minutes for today's message as we continue to do our shout outs and getting ready for Final Friday. And that's again, I've renamed it and scripted it. Okay, and yes, you are. See this is where I get all the clicks in and get get all the shout outs. And I try to make sure if this is your first time, by the way, it's actually I normally do on Friday. I do Gift Friday, and on Wednesday I do Glue Wednesday. So today I'm combining the two and making Final Friday, and so that's what we're going to be doing today. And I will reintroduce that when the time comes for the actual message. But we learned through repetition, so it's okay for y'all too to hear it again. All right. So that becomes the clue. All right, the clue and the glue, man. So let's see. What else I got to say? Oh, and meanwhile, you will have the opportunity to get a copy of the poem that I read today. And I remind you, if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn, then you are going to happen. You're going to have to send me an email to request it. And the reason I ask you to send me an email is because that way I will be responding to you, and that goes through your security system, because otherwise it might think that I'm spamming you when I'm sending you something. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to send me a request to sporty@sportyking.com. All right. And what does that say? We all right with that? Okay. And okay. You're talking about the camera. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, well, yeah, it's the original. Okay, what you gonna do? And we got less than a minute for today's message, so let's get ready to just roll on with that. But again, so if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn, send me a request for the poem at sporty@sportyking.com. If you're on YouTube or on my website watching, then you can just drop a request in the comments, and then you'll get your keepsake copy of today's poem. So anyway, like I say, today has been Gift Friday since August 20th, 2022. I'm sorry, since August 2020, where I read one of my original poems, and then I'd send it to you if you'd like. And as some of you know, I've been extending my Gift Wednesday, which my Thanksgiving message of thanks THANKS. The heart always needs kindred spirits. I've been stretching that out through the rest at the end of 2020, where this past Wednesday would have been my last Glue Wednesday, and the stretch of the thanks message, because I started from right there at Thanksgiving. There was 6 Wednesdays left, and the word thanks, THANKS, and each week I would feature a different lesson. So I'm gonna stop right there and just say hello to Massachusetts, Laura Perry. Happy New Year to you, or Happy Old Year. Let's get rid of this one first, as my high school alum joins in. Okay, but today, so I've been extending the thanks message, and each week I focused on a different message, THANK. And today the message is going to focus on the letter. I'm sorry. So I've combined my Gift Friday and Glue Wednesday to create today's Final Friday, for those of you who are keeping up with how that whole thing was put together. Okay, and today's feature message, so I'm going to combine the two. So I'm going to continue my thanks message and then use the gift as well. So today's feature message from thanks is going to be the letter S, and I'm going to be using the words self, spirit, and safety. Those are the words that I'm using to build my message today. Self, spirit, and safety. And hey, coming in from Chicago, what's going on, Teresa? Good to see you, all right? Okay, and I'm going to be sharing the poem with you from my book, I Found Out I'm Living, an affirmation of life. And the poem is called I Can't Save the World. And it's so good that Teresa just clicked in, because I can, I don't worry about spoiler alert, but, shooting far ahead. Teresa, I'm going to be talking about this poem, I Can't Save the World, is one that I wrote when I was working in Chicago at a life skills training class for the DHS program. And Teresa was one of the counselors there at a company called Phalanx Family Services, where we help people get their lives together and find jobs. She was one of the wonderful counselors there that I always had a good time hanging out with. So Happy New Year to you, but also, as I told Laura, Happy Old Year. Let's get rid of this one. But like I say, spoiler alert, that's when I wrote this poem to those people. Now, I will start with the gift by reading the poem, and then I'm going to support it with the glue, with the 3 words that we're featuring today. Now, yesterday I posted Michael Jackson's song, Man in the Mirror, and I had written in my inscription, because we can forget that this is not just a song. The Man in the Mirror is not just a song. And as you listen to this poem, I want you to listen for the internal conversations that you've actually had. And have you given yourself credit for the good you've done, or are you still focusing on the failure? And yes, we've all failed at something. Even with me twisting into a positive, saying that we've all fallen short, but fail is just faith activated in loss. Yeah, even with me twisting it to that positivity, we've all failed at something. So as you listen, will you hear your chosen messenger in your conversation? And who has the final say? So I wrote this poem, like I said, while leading a life skills class in Chicago, and remembering the smiles that I saw growing with every class on these faces. And so this poem is called I Can't Save the World. Every time I talk to my mirror, my revelation is the same. I can't save the world from all the injustice and the pain. Yet, as I look around at the lives I touch, I'm reminded of something I fear, that my success might make me forget about those who need me to care. I could spend all my time with the media and say that none of them are willing to work hard, or I can be thankful that I have the chance to make a difference and recognize that chance as a grace from my God. I can feed my spirit with my own personal thanks, not expecting showers of praise from the people I serve. And I can relax knowing that I've done my best, treating each person with the respect they deserve. I can look back at the times I almost lost my temper, now understanding that my disappointment was really concern for those for who I thought was mature enough to take responsibility was actually only old enough to learn. I can only help those who are willing to help themselves by helping myself remain true to the message I get from my mirror. I can't save the world, but I can save you. Now, you've heard me say it before, and I love saying it again because we learn through repetition. You can't help anyone who doesn't want your help. And you can't help anyone unless you take care of your PMS. And that's your physical, mental, and spiritual self. And think about it. If you don't take care of yourself physically, how can you help a loved one who's fallen? If you don't take care of yourself mentally, how can you give someone advice when they have to make a life-changing decision? If you don't take care of yourself spiritually, how can you encourage someone to not give up on themselves and hang in there and give it one more try? You have to take care of your PMS. So that's the gift. That's the gift part of this message. But now let's put the glue to it. And let's look at the word self. SELF. Self-esteem, love's foundation. You see, when you like yourself, you create value that contributes to sharing your love. I believe that liking yourself is the cherry on the cake. See, most people love themselves, but at some time or another in our lives, and not too long ago, many of us have not liked ourselves. And that's the headline. But the subtitles are in comments like, I don't like the way I look in this outfit. I don't like my chances against that person. I don't like how I treated that person. Think about it. What have you said or heard said about not liking yourself? I want you to put that in the thread right now. What have you said over your lifetime that you don't like about yourself? Or what have you heard somebody say that they don't like about themselves? So you don't have to identify whether it was you or what you heard. Just put what are things that people say that they don't like about themselves. Now, there's a delay between the broadcast from Facebook and it's coming through StreamYard. So I'm going to give it a second for you to put some things there in a thread. What are things that you hear people say that they don't like about themselves? Or what is something that you have said that you didn't like about yourself? And even if you've overcome it, I'd love to know that. But what are some things? People talk about being overweight. Being overweight is something, I don't like which goes to why I don't like how I look in this outfit. So being overweight is one of the things. And think about it, when someone's telling themselves that they don't like their weight, then they're telling themselves that they're not good enough to fill the space that they're in. Okay, thank you. What else? What are some things that people say I don't like about myself? And then you start to tell yourself that, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to give it a couple of more shots before you put them in. Being overweight. What else do people say I don't like about myself? And P.S., by the way, if you're watching the video, you don't have to be live. You can still participate. Put some things in the thread because people always like to see, you say, oh yeah, that's right, I've said that, I've heard that. That's what we want to look for, the commonalities. Look for the commonalities. Okay, Roger Carroll said, women will often say that they don't like their shape, not just their weight, but the actual shape. Right, yeah. Okay, and let me take that, okay, good. I hope you can read the whole thing that Roger Carroll put. Yes. Okay. See how you can add on. Yeah, I don't like I'm overweight and therefore I don't like my shape. Yes, somebody could actually like their weight but not like their shape. Okay, great. Thank you. And then I can't save money. That's actually saying something about your discipline. Yeah, I don't like my discipline. I don't like that I can't save money. Joey, coming in. Good to see you, Joey. I don't like my impatience. That's great. That's interesting. See, now we're getting getting introspective. We don't like, I don't like how I treated someone. That's the introspection. My impatience. So there's a quality that I have that could be a character strength that I don't happen to like about myself, when we need to be focusing on what are our character strengths that we like. So there's the discipline. I can't save money. There's the breaking out women who not only not liking their weight, but not even liking the shape that they're in. regardless of how they feel about their weight, okay? And the impatience, great. And then here's another one. That's from what others say, can't save money. Gotcha. Okay, so when other people saying they can't save money, right. Right, doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter whether if you've said or heard it. So thank you for clarifying that, Zet. Not a problem. Because that's the thing. That's why I say even if you're watching the video, put some things in there. Because see, maybe you're one of the persons that struggle with this thing. And so and you may think, well, I didn't know anybody else struggle with that. Sometimes, it's the commonalities that we look for that help us become at peace with ourselves. Okay, I don't like my self-confidence, and that's huge because sometimes we don't actually say it, but we think it. And as you're going to see in a couple of minutes, I'm going to tell you, it's the words that we speak into our spirit. We don't like our self-confidence. So again, think back to what I said in that slide. I don't like how I don't like. Let me see. Let's see. I don't like the way I look. I don't like my chances. I don't like how I treat that person. See, I don't like my chances. That's that self-confidence that we're talking about, that we don't like about ourselves. The weight, we don't like how we look. The how I treat that person, impatient. So y'all got it all. Y'all got those three put together. I love it. So thank you. So let's move on from there, because here's my point with those. These things signify, and that you hit it on the mark. These things signify that you're looking for someone else to validate your excellence. See, you're looking for someone else to validate your excellence. Because if you think that you can't save money, you're basing it on how much money somebody else saved. There may be a reason you can't seem to save money. Maybe you have different needs. So, look at your priorities and say, well, you know what? Yeah, I would have loved to have saved $10, but I needed 8 of those dollars to do this. And did I need to have that thing filled? And yes, I did. So let's not beat yourself up. If you don't, if your self-confidence, you think you can't do something, because it's like I always say, we learn more from a negative role model than we do from a positive role model sometimes. Because see, with a negative role model, we're confident enough to say, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to do that. But with a positive role model, the self-confidence, we say, wow, I don't know if I can do that. And so that becomes the self-confidence, that where we want to please someone else. And then, I've said, you've heard me say it before, is I think that sometimes the goal in perfection is to actually fail and then please someone else. Because we say, you know what? Hey, I didn't make it to perfect, but I made it here. The goal in practice makes perfect is actually to fail, because we know we can't make perfect. So we say, I didn't make it to perfect, but I made it to here. See, we're trying to please somebody else. Look how far I made it. I didn't make it to perfect, but I made it to here. Wow, why not let here be the goal so that you can please yourself and celebrate? So practice makes perfect, I believe, is the goal, to fail and please someone else. So that's why I think that these things that we say that we don't like about ourselves are us looking to validate our own excellence. And Monday, you'll see my Monday morning message. The Monday morning moment is about our path to excellence, not perfection. And since we all know how powerful words are, think about it, we have to recognize their impact upon our spirit. Words, WORDS, what others remember and digest, strengthen spirits. Oh, you look great. I'm so proud of you. I wish you all the best success in the world. Way to go. Positive output, positive input, because words go into the spirit, positive results. See, we have to have that, and that's where that self-confidence is, Joey. We have to have that positive self-talk. And so you have to remember that what you're saying, even the smallest things you say, will strengthen someone's spirit. So make sure it's strengthening your spirit by using positive words. Because when your words are negative, WORDS becomes what others remember, destroy spirits. You look so stupid in that outfit. Who told you that you would be accepted here? I'm so ashamed of you. I wish you were never born. Negative output, negative input, negative results. The question is, what are you doing? What words are you using to talk to your spirit? And more importantly, how are they impacting how you share your spirit with others? Got to have that positive self-talk. So you got to tell yourself, yes, my self-confidence is at this point now, but I'm going to get it up. Yes, I can save money, but not relative to how someone else is saving it. Yes, I may be overweight, but here's what I'm going to do to get to the weight I want to be at, so that I can like the shape of how I look rather than worrying about how someone else feels about it. And see, even when the mirror isn't available, you're having that conversation with yourself as different things spark memories of what you've done. And that borderline tip of feeling confident or seeming arrogant is actually in the second stanza of the poem, where it says, "Yet as I look around at the lives I touch, I'm reminded of something that I fear, that my success might make me forget about those who need me to care." See, this stanza also reminds me of my belief that we're not afraid to fail. Because when we fail, what happens? The pity party shows up to justify our loss as being we were the wrong color, the wrong sex, the wrong age, the wrong size, the wrong education, the wrong background. Excuse me. And we just exhale and believe, yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason. The pity party is right. The only reason I didn't get that promotion is because I was the wrong sex, age, size, color, whatever it is. We decide that that justifies how we feel, and now we feel better about failing. Okay? But when we succeed, then the reason we are afraid of success, because we overcome that reason, the reason being that color, sex, age, size, etc. We overcome that reason, and suddenly now the petty party shows up to minimize our success. Yeah, whose butt did you kiss? You were lucky. That'll never happen again. Now you think you're better than someone else. See, and then what happens is that we inhale to keep it low key, our success, so that we can still be one of the crew. But you know what you're actually doing when you do that? You're keeping the crew refilled with their trust in failure. Because if I continue to believe that the reason I didn't get something was because of my color, my age, my sex, my background, my education, if I continue to believe what the pity party says to make me feel good about failing, I'm actually refilling that trust. I can trust failure because I'm going to have everybody get together and make me feel good about that failure. So that's what you're doing when you're trying to stay with the crew sometimes, is that you're refilling their trust in failure. And I saw Joey's statement partially, and I held up posting it because I thought I said it might end up going what I was talking about. The power of affirmation. Is self-talk a form of affirmation? And I think, I'm glad I held it up for that point, because yes, it is. Self-talk is a form of affirmation because there's I. It's what I call the pronoun switch. See, affirmations say I. And so we say, I don't have this. And so let's look at what the pity party said when you fail. The pity party said that, well, you were the wrong color. And you say, I was the wrong color. You were the wrong age. I was the wrong age. You were the wrong sex. I was the wrong sex. See, so that becomes that affirmation. If I keep saying I'm the wrong age, sex, background, my education is not good, and my is another affirmation pronoun, so that becomes your affirmation of what you believe in yourself. And then when you say, no, I am going to overcome this, and I don't have to kiss anybody's butt. It wasn't luck. I'm good. I'm good at what I do, and I deserve to have the promotion, the raise, the relationship. See, and that becomes that power of affirmation is when you talk to your spirit. And that looks at Michael Jackson's song, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Are you telling yourself how good you are so that you can start to project that and feel it? And then what happens? Remember, I'm always looking I'm choosing my messengers carefully, and I'm recognizing I'm carefully being chosen as someone's messenger. And so therefore, as you're building yourself up, you're helping somebody else build themselves up. And that's going to come again. But like I said, I don't worry about, saying, hey, I'm not going to talk about that till I get to it. But Joey, you just stole some of my words, and I'm glad to see that. Because again, what we want to look for, I like looking for the commonalities. more than the differences. We have differences, but we have to learn to embrace differences. We're supposed to be different. And as Cheek says, this is one of my National Guard people down in South Carolina, and this is a woman who talks about, who helps people deal with sexual assault, helps them deal with resiliency, building their resiliency. And she knows, she says, yes, the power of affirmation. That's one of the principles in what the military calls, what is it called, Cheek? What is it called? It's not just called resiliency. It's put that in there for me, okay, Cheek? But it's talking about the 14 different principles that we need to follow to be resilient. But you have to have that affirmation, Joey. And then again, Joey, even when you say preach, because you have to preach to yourself. You know, a lot of times when somebody says, well, you're blah, 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 I'm preaching to the choir, I said, yo, I'm putting my choir robe on because I like what you're saying. So thank you, Joey. But yeah, this is what you do. You gotta have that positive self-talk, because it makes a difference whether you're going to be listening to the pity party or ignoring, by the way, the pity party. And as you're going to see, I'm going to say later, you're going to have to ignore the petty party as well. And I'm happy to put some hearts in there. Because and see how God just works, because I just ended up talking about Cheek a couple of weeks ago when I was having lunch with another one of my fellow South Carolina Army Guard people, Chris Allen. And, just another one of the spiritual connections that I've managed to make through my life and through my military connection. So thank you all. God bless you. Because even as we talk about spirits, one of the things I always say to my military audience is not just thank you for your service, because I say thank you for your service, as most people do, but I also say thank you for answering the call. You see, there's a high calling on your lives as military families. So if any of you are watching, you in a military family, whether you are the military service member or the family member, especially when they deploy, you are answering the call because you're deploying with them. It's a separation of family. And so you are living that deployment with them. And so that's a high calling, because I believe that America asks our military, and I want y'all to think about this as you thank our military. This is what America asks them to do. Turn your emotions on and off at the drop of an order. There will be no Christmas for you today. Here's your mission. There will be no New Year. You will not celebrate your child's graduation. You will not celebrate the birth of your child. See, these are things America asks our military. And not in a nasty way, by the way. I love my America. But I'm saying this is what a military life is about. Turn your emotion. And you can't say, no, I don't want to go. Oh, okay, got to do the mission. And that becomes one of the challenges. And so again, thank you for answering the high calling of being a military family. And yes, Cheek, I thank you. I appreciate your thanks. And this is what I'm saying, y'all, about that positive self-talk. I talked, I said, yeah, my military, I know how I support them, and I know the thanks I get. So yeah, there's one of my affirmations. I know the difference I'm making there. And that's what we have to do. We adapt and overcome. It's an honor to be able to serve. And yes, it is. Because as they don't tell you how things are going to work. Does life, you don't get, even when people say, I always say, we never make it to the future, because every time we get there, it's the present. And I don't have it in writing that I'm going to be here tomorrow. So that's why I said earlier, I'm thankful when someone says, good talking to you. I'm saying, yeah, good being talked to rather than talked about. Good to see you. Good being seen rather than viewed. We don't have a confirmation that we're going to be here tomorrow. People say life is short, and then they seem to forget what short means. Short means that I could die right now in a broadcast. But at least now all of y'all will know to call 911 for me. So you have to laugh in the face of life. Not the face of death. Laugh in the face of life. This is a gift. That's why I do Gift Friday. It's the glue. It reminds us to pull ourselves together and love one another and share. That's what we're talking about, sharing and being able to hug one another and move on. So speaking of moving on, let me go on. Let me go on and move on. Okay? Because one of the things that I want to say is that we have to be mindful that we are not feeding our spirits with failure. Speeding our favorite. And I'm gonna stop right here to give a shout out to one of my guys. Love you, big guy, Eric Booker. This is one of my kids from the Boys and Girls Club in Chicago where I used to volunteer, and he moved on, and man, he's doing a great job of sharing his life and helping the kids out. And this is a kid that I don't know how old he is yet. So he still might end up in the NBA, but he has skills, okay? But the thing is, he did things to pursue his dreams, and just as Cheek said, we have to adapt and overcome. This is a young man that made changes in his life direction and always kept himself going positive. Thanks, Eric. So I just had to give you that quick shout out, because that's somebody who didn't continue to refill the crew with failure. And thus the fourth stanza in the poem begins to guide us. See, it begins to guide us in feeding that spirit by defining what success looks like in each part of our lives. See, every part of your life, success looks different. Depending upon what you're doing, you have to define your personal success so that you don't need the pity party or the petty party. So that's why I say I can feed my spirit with my own personal thanks, not expecting showers of praise from the people I serve. And I can relax knowing that I've done my best, treating each person with the respect that they deserve. That's what you have to recognize. See, one of the scriptures on my wall is a popular one that most have heard from Solomon as God asked him what he wanted. And this is from 2 Chronicles 1:10, where Solomon said, give me wisdom and knowledge to rule them properly. Joey, you talked about preaching. Give me wisdom and knowledge to rule them properly, for who is able to govern this great nation of yours? That's from 2 Chronicles 1:10. And here's how I apply that. You see, one of the synonyms of rule is guidelines. So don't think that you are ruling someone, but you're giving them guidelines. And just as I've reminded you to choose your messengers carefully, I've reminded you that you're carefully being chosen as someone else's messenger. Use your spirit of Solomon to guide those who need your message. What you got there, Eric? I appreciate you and thank you for your guidance. Oh, I didn't even see it. See? See, you can't make this stuff up. And I didn't read that fast. I read it. So ruling is guidance. I love it. This is what we have to do with these broadcasts, y'all. And this is what we have to do in real life. It's just find the people that keep our vibe and our spirit going and keep connected to them in the best way you can. And it's not the frequency. It's not the quantity of the contact. It's the quality. It's the value in the contact that makes a difference. And so that's what we want to be able to do. So use your spirit of Solomon to guide those who need your message. And finally, in the guiding, then I want them, that's not my third S in glue, is safety. Guide them to safety. And that's really where the wisdom and the knowledge come in. You see, actually, way back in the beginning of this broadcast, when we talked about your PMS, your physical, mental, and spiritual self, you have to take care of that. Now, I am a proponent of being vaccinated, boosted, and even wearing my mask. And so let's say that you are too. Now, are you busy sucking your teeth or shaking your head at people who aren't or don't? And I don't want you to put that in the thread. I don't even want you to answer. I want to flip the coin for you. I have a friend who turned down a dinner invitation because the host couldn't confirm that the other handful of people who were invited had been vaccinated. Now, the host didn't appreciate that they got turned down. They were upset. So we text back and forth, me and my friend, and this is what I text to them. I said, you know what? I truly don't get why people have a problem with your choice to respect their choice. See, if you invite me to something and I say, well, okay, and it's not just you and I. It's a family dinner or whatever it is. Well, look, has everybody been vaccinated? And you say, well, I don't know. And we say, well, then I can't come. I don't, you or they've chosen not to be vaccinated. Well, I've chosen to be vaccinated. So therefore, we're not going to share that space. Here's what I say. I respect your choice, which changes our relationship and our interaction. So it's like a post that I did a couple of weeks ago, not here, but on Facebook, where I talked about how someone talked about how I was coughing, and it said, you better get that checked. And I'm like, you know what? I never thought about getting it checked because I'm used to coughing. And so therefore, it's just one of my natural things. I take cod liver oil pills and they make me cough. But it didn't dawn on me that, I could have a symptom of COVID and not be aware of it. And I thought about how many people I had interacted with over the last couple of weeks. And I said, wow, I could have been infecting someone. So I had to take my test, and if I would have found out, and thank God, fast forward, I found out I had a negative test. But what if it had been positive that I had COVID? I had to think about all the people I needed to go back and let them know, hey, I tested positive for COVID and I was just with you last week. But I thought about all the people who I couldn't go back and tell, because now they become carriers. And so, this safety thing, it's a choice that we make, but I choose to be vaccinated. I chose to get my boost, and I still wear my mask. That's a choice I make. You choose not to do that. I respect your choice, but then you cannot get upset that I am wearing my choice. Okay? It's a tough decision. Thank you. So that's what you have to do. And what's that? Touchdown. Or, even though the touchdown signal said 2 hands to God. Hey, I surrender. I surrender my love to you, God. You got to take care of yourself first. And again, Cheek, you might have been on when we showed PMS. That's take care of your PMS, your personal, your physical, mental, and spiritual self. Take care of you, or you cannot help anybody else. You have to take care of yourself. There's a chance. And meanwhile, so back to what I was saying, I respect your choice, which changes our relationship and our interaction. There's a chance that one of us will choose to change our belief. And I will not gloat if you come over to my belief. And whether or not you'll gloat if I come over to your belief will not hold me back from doing so. You see, that's what Lola said. That's what Chica said. Don't take care of yourself. So I'm not going to go over their belief because then they're going to gloat. No, if it's if I suddenly say, you know what, it is in my best interest to do this, I'm going to get it done. I'm not going to say, well, now they're going to say, yeah, you knew you were wrong. You should have come over. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about my personal safety. My conversation with the mirror has to remain supreme. And the conversation with the mirror is in that last stanza. I can only help myself. I can only help those who are willing to help themselves by helping myself remain true to the message that I get from my mirror. I can't save the world, but I can save you. I can't save everybody, but if I can save myself, I can save those who want to follow my message. What you say, Joey? When you lose, say little. I want you to expound upon that, Joey. Okay. Oh, okay. When you win, when you lose, say little. When you win, say nothing. And see that, and that goes back to that pity party and petty party, right? And see, that's why some people are not afraid to fail. And so I like what Joey said. If you fail, don't go looking for justification for why you failed. Just think about what you did. Don't try to, I need to, it was my age, my sex, my color. No, don't go looking at, no, go inside and talk to yourself about why you failed so that you can say nothing, so that you can be humble to yourself when you win, about why you won, and knowing, because still people are going to that petty party is still going to say, oh, well, you were lucky and you kissed somebody's butt, all of that kind of stuff. Who knows? The key is, do you know why you succeeded, and do you know why you failed? And that personal conversation is so important. So that's the poem. That's the gift. I can only remain true, helping myself remain true to the message I get from my mirror. I can't save the world, but I can save you. Take care of yourself, listeners and viewers. Save yourself. That's why my Friday broadcast is called Gift Friday, which stands for God is for today. That's the gift. GIFT. God is for today. And I always offer with my own affirmation that a lot of people say TGIF, thank God it's Friday, but I remind people to say TGIT, thank God it's today. And then TGIT, thank God it's tonight. Because see, that's a message that I got and I learned from Matthew 6:34, which says, don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Thank God it's tonight. Today's trouble is enough for today. Thank God it's today. And now I'm hearing that I misstate TGIT, thank God it's today, thank God it's tonight. Okay? But thanks is about now, y'all. Thanks is about now. What are you thankful for today? Who, why, and where, and how, and when. These are the things that you have to ask yourself. And that's why I'm saying this is the culmination of the thanks message. Giving thanks is about now. Who are you thankful for? Now let's fill up the thread with some things. You can either put a who, why, where, how, or what, or when. Who are you thankful for? Why are you thankful? Why are you thankful? Where are you thankful? In what parts of your life? How are you thankful? In other words, how are you expressing it? And when are you thankful? Are you only thankful when good things happen to you? Or have you learned to be thankful when quote unquote bad things happen to you? See, I've said in a broadcast before, the only power at work in my life is God. That doesn't say that there aren't negative vibes coming at me, but their power is not working. Only God's power is working in my life. So when I don't get something, I just have to say, you know what? God didn't want me to have that yet. So I'm going to go on and start to close us down. And just as you put some things in the thread so other people can know who you're thankful for, why, where, when, and how. All right. And give thanks for this moment and enjoy how it adds to your life. Oh, okay. Thankful every morning when God favors me with that first breath. And that's one of my things I call it. I say that the bravest thing you can do each day is go to sleep at night, because you have no guarantee that you're going to wake up. I'm going to save it and read those. I'm going to go on and read those. That first breath, you got to be able to take it. I'm thankful for the peace that God has given to me during these chaotic times, which is whatever your age is, that's the chaotic times. It's not just COVID, y'all. We've been dealing with storms all our lives. And that's why I say give yourself credit. That when I talk to my military family about the calling on their lives, I talk to you about we've been through some storms. Stop and give yourself credit for what you made it through. Joey says, who? My family, which includes good folk like you. Okay, so thank you. Yeah, because we are family. That's right, Joey. Man, they had the family reunion of life in that family, the Waddell family. I love it. So, so those are the things that we want to keep reminding one another. But more importantly, as you said earlier, Joey, an affirmation is to yourself. Say, I am thankful. And then you got to be thankful for yourself. Happy New Year to you all. Yes, Vic comes in with a closeout remark. So let me continue my closeout and remind you that as we give thanks for this moment, enjoy how it adds to your life through the love that matters, and that is God's love, which really does undo everything. Glue. And God's love doesn't say that it doesn't say it tears things apart, but what's torn apart, God's love will bring together. That's why I call Glue Wednesday. It's the day of the day that keeps the beginning and the end of the week together. Wednesday is, the glue. God's love truly undoes everything. And so I've decided to end each message in my thanks series by reminding everyone, continue your safe and festive celebration. Yet do not restrict your thanks to this weekend or to any weekend to come. Instead, what I want you to do, commit your spirit to constantly seek things and reasons to be thankful. So all those things that we listed about being thankful. And again, if you're watching the video, put some thankful things in there so people can continue to see all these things we need to be committed to be giving thanks for. Thankful to be in position to be able, let me click on that. Thankful for being in position to be able to take care of my parents and have them here with my little family. grateful for everything and for the people in my life. Yes. See, these are the things that we need to. This is not about this weekend. Giving thanks is about your life. To be, lower, Cheek said, and I say it lower because I know on it, but military is called by the last name, so I'm so used to saying Cheek. But thankful to be in a position to take care of my parents. I don't have my parents anymore. Me and my sister Zed on this broadcast, we are members of the No Parents Club now. But we were in position to take care of our parents. So again, it's not, giving thanks is a year-long thing. It's a lifetime thing. And so, yeah, that's what we want to be able to do. And just, commit. So that's why, again, commit your spirit to constantly seek things and reasons to be thankful for. So remember, we don't need to hump as much as we need to keep it together. Because people say Wednesday is hump day. No, it's glue. It's the glue. And I want to thank you for watching and sharing what was today, Final Friday. We'll be back to Glue Wednesday next week, and then we'll be back to Glue Friday next year as well. So remember, I am a proponent of wearing your mask. So WTH, wear the face mask. And Happy New Year to all as we get the final word from Cheek. And just again, all of us have shared that word and we believe it. So thank you all so much. I'm going to stay on and just click on any final comments. But it has been my joy and pleasure to spend this time with you. So cool from Joey. Amen, amen. Love you, Sporty. That's my Cheek. Talk to you soon. Amen from Zet. AMEN. A message everyone needs. And thank you as we close out the Thanks series with thanks. Look, God bless you all. Have a safe and fulfilling closeout of 2021 and recognize that 2022 is just the next year. At least we see the storm in advance. We don't always see them in advance, but we do. And we don't know if we're in the middle of the storm because we don't know when the storm actually began and when it's going to end. So just have your faith in the storm and realize that you have to, that your track record says, and I think that's one of the things I posted in my meme today, that your track record says that you continue to make it, all right? And that's what you want to do. Love you, my favorite. Okay, that's my sister Zet. All right, y'all. Everybody be good, stay safe, and see you next year, also known as tomorrow. Over and out. Ciao.